So when you first came in, you were trying to gauge the distance from the camera, and you picked up the sticks and you just played some singles. Just go ahead and do that for me again. If you set as a jumping off point.
Was I doing that?
Okay, keep doing that. Okay, it's not too bad. Before we get into that, let's revisit the 25th rudiment, because we never got to the 4th iteration.
That's right.
Okay. So, pardon me. So if you were to pull that out and put your metronome, I think we got that up to 60, if I recall.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that was 2 or 3 lessons ago.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get you into stick control. So, but I don't want to abandon the rudiments. We got to keep going here with the rudiments, because it's via the rudiments that we learn the 7 basic strokes. Or maybe it's after having learned the 7 basic strokes that we can perform the rudiments. But ultimately, what we're looking to do is understand how the 7 basic strokes pair with the rudiments and the arpeggios, right, for this particular instrument, right? The scales and arpeggios for this instrument. And we're working all that stuff ultimately to make music. I mean, that's the final arbiter, right? Okay. So metronome on at 60. I'm never quite square to the camera. It looks like I am, but then after the fact, the angle seems different. I wonder if I can adjust to compensate for that difference. Okay.
Do you want me to play, say, the first iteration?
Right. Go ahead and do it.
Okay.
No, that's why it's really important as drummers. We're so used to playing by ear. So many drummers perhaps aren't really well versed in all things sight reading. And so we want to get used to actually looking at what we're playing so that we know what we're playing is what the conductor requested.
Exactly.
So to speak. And so you weren't playing the first iteration. You were playing the 3rd iteration.
Oh, right. I was alternating the hands. That's right.
It's like, stop the band. Hold on. You're going to get busted in front of the orchestra.
Let me do that again. Sorry.
too, you know. What's happening with this technique is we're trying to feel, thank you, Richard Martinez, we're trying to feel nothing, or as little as possible, right? Which is mysterious, because how do you do nothing? But it'll make sense. The more you begin to understand what's happening here, it'll make more and more sense. But so, you see, if I really raise, watch, there's something happens. See, what I'm seeing is it's close, but Dick would talk about you'd often be close, but he'd say you're just mimicking it, right? So you're in the right direction, but you really want to leave. You want to leave your arms alone so that they react. We don't lead with the elbow, we lead with the wrist. But if we leave the body alone, and truly, because remember, the whole thing is just a wrist turn, it's all in the wrist. And if we really lead with our wrist and leave the arm alone, you get this. And I don't always see that. I'm actually touching my leg, and I'm just boop, going up. See, your elbow didn't move. That really, you know what that really means is, see, this is so subtle. It really means you're using your bicep muscle. See, yeah. You see, if we're really leading with the wrist, the muscles that control the wrist are in front of the elbow. Remember, muscles only pull, they don't push. Okay? That's this human body on this planet. Right? Physics on this planet with this human body, right? And the human body is a simple machine made up of a series of levers, really. So if we really leave everything alone, see, something happens. A little better, yeah. You're not holding a stick, so just let your fingers come apart. As you know they will, because remember, the fingers respond to the wrist, don't they? We don't need to open and close our fingers. We could, but that's not what we're doing. We get the fingers for free. Dick loved that idea, although I don't think he ever said that to me. What he would say is, I believe that's true. He loved getting the arm for free. See, you don't actually have to lift your arm. It will actually, just by virtue of pronating or rolling forward, the wrist goes up. You're up. You don't need to lift up. You don't need to use all of these muscles. It won't be as efficient. You'll be working a lot harder than you need to. Right? Okay. All right. So we're just looking for this throw. That's nice and here. Here's what the throw looks like. Here's what the throw looks like. You show me a throw. I'll be more Socratic. Show me a throw with no stick in your hand. What would it look like, Joe?
Without the stick in my hand.
Yeah, give me a throw. Come on, give me a throw in real time, not some kind of remedial slow motion version. That's it. Yeah, mine looks like this. Okay? This is the timing of my throw. I'm coming up. The arm reacts, but I'm leading with my wrist. Fingers would open if there's no stick in your hand, certainly. And then so I come up, and I cock my wrist to the ceiling, as Murray Spivak would say. Right? I turn to the ceiling, which motivates the downward motion of the forearm. I'm letting all this hang. And it looks like this, see? Now, if you tell students, Dick would say, I don't talk about the whipping motion because then people just try to whip and it spoils it. You want to be careful what to tell a student and what not to tell a student. And I know you're teaching, so I mentioned that. But you see, you get this motion. And there's a certain timing to it, and you can see all the energy rushing out to the end, out to my fingertips. If you're in traditional, it's like flicking water. You can see it, can't you? And if you don't get the timing right, you'll end up flicking the water up into your own eye, up onto yourself, right? Down is where we go, but you have to come up to come down. And every action has an equal or opposite reaction, all that stuff, right? It's like that. Go and do it. Better, better. See, it's all one smooth thing. And you're not working real hard. You don't have to push down.
Yeah.
All you have to do is, it really feels like, watch. If you were to make a note on the way up, you'd have a note. You'd have a note here from the wrist, note, and then you'd have a note from the wrist on the way down. So you'd get a note and a note, 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 note. See what it looks like? Wrist turn, wrist turn, wrist turn, wrist turn, wrist. And the arm is following. Okay. No, don't stop at the, well, no, I was going like this. That's what I showed you. See? Up, down, up, down. We see with this technique, unlike most other techniques that I know of, we actually make notes not just going down. We make notes as a violinist moves in both directions to play a long tone, right? Well, we play notes moving up and down. Okay, but don't do it in slow motion. Just give me the motion again. Up, down. There you go. And don't go shoving from your bicep. Just it's a wrist turn. As you cock your wrist to the ceiling, you'll notice that the energy is sent out to your fingertips. So if you're holding a stick, it sends the energy out to the tip of the stick. Dick would say you're going to. He would say feel the torque as you turn to the ceiling and head down. No, don't get it all in one motion. And let your hand go. Let it open up on the way to feel it. You're not holding a stick, so don't. There not bad. And the hand does close on the way down, doesn't it? I didn't even need to mention it to you. I mean, if you were teaching someone that had never studied and you didn't mention it to them, they wouldn't even know. Okay, just stay in the right for a sec. So go ahead and give me a throw in the right with a stick in your hand. With a stick in your hand. And can you do that? Go on. There you go. Better. Okay, now, can you, that's a better direction. Yeah, it's good. You should practice with no stick in your hand. So if we're, see, up, down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down. Let's get this nice flow. Remember the grip. Maintain that grip. First finger and thumb, the guide, come in. They're firm, comfortable, and constant. Sits in the crack of the middle finger. That's the fulcrum. In palm down, matched. Fourth and fifth have very little to do with it. They're just hanging out. You'll spoil it if you start to manipulate. You'll spoil everything that happens up here towards the front of the hand. Go for it. Now, don't just remember you didn't do this when you were doing it with no stick in your hand. You didn't go.
Yeah.
You just did this. See, I'll give you this. If you hold your arm tight and you don't allow it to follow, and you want to try to go up, it does get really tight in here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But if you let it follow, it won't. The wrist breaks. the arm follows, and you avoid that tension. In fact, the up motion is when we get we have the opportunity to relax, right? Playing a series of notes, and now we can relax. Now we can relax. Relax, 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 relax. It breaks the tension. It relieves us of the tension that builds up. You know, the lactic acid starts to build up. Okay, all right, good. Go the other way. You see, if your arm isn't really hanging from the beginning, because I can see the wall behind it's always like you're always wanting to hold your left elbow out a little bit. Here, I'm not really a pure match grip guy because I'm always traditional, but it should work. I mean, I was just playing the rudiment both ways. See, but if you don't start with the arm by your side, and you start with that out where it's supposed to end up, and then you just shove with your mimicking it, or holding it tight, you'll never get it. The arm, just like the right, is hanging by your side. And it's not until you go to make your throw that the elbow moves a little away from the body, just a little bit. Depending on how high you raise, right? There's some kind of equation, right? Do it with no stick in your hand again. Yeah, let the hand, no, you're holding your hand tight. Yay! And look, your elbow came out. See, if you stop the system from working in any way, if you hold anything tight, remember every action has an equal or opposite reaction. You're stopping the body from countervailing in the way it naturally would. So it's not natural. It's something else. It's some clever thing that you've created. That's what we do. You know, human beings, we're clever monkeys when we come up with these clever ideas, and we end up fooling ourselves instead of getting in touch with what is really happening. Okay, so we're just going to do this, right? And the hand opens up, and everything happens in real time from the wrist. But every time I go up, notice my hand always opens. And every time I come down, it always closes. Over and over, up, down, up, down, up. Let your hand open on the way up, and don't come further down than where you started. Always come back to where you start. That's your floor. It's your imaginary floor. We don't have sticks with a floor over the surface, but there's a floor here. There's a floor. You're always, look, there it is. We're just going to clap. See? Where the hands meet is now our floor. You know, we've got to come back to here, not to here. Go for it. No, allow your hand to open so you're rushing the up. There, that'll change your timing. But you have to do it in real time. You have to feel it. Open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. Now, I wonder, it looks like your fingers are kind of doing this on the way up. That's not what they do. Ah, see, you'll feel them opening. They're touching, aren't they? All your fingers are touching. As you come up, they separate. You can feel. You can see through the cracks of the fingers. Yeah, more like that. They don't do this pretending to open. Look, I'm opening. No, you're not. May as well just not open them at all. Just keep them closed. You really want to feel what happens naturally. It's this. There you go. Just let them relax. You don't have to make a big deal. But come on up, let them open, and come down. Don't wait here to see if they open. We're in real time now. And don't come down past the floor. Come to the floor. That's where you're going to come back to every time. Well, you decide. You have to decide where the floor is. No, am I opening? But watch. And this is I play this way. But watch. Look, it's all in real time. Open, close, open. It happens real fast. No, your fingers aren't really opening. I don't see them opening. There you go. Just leave them alone. And you're coming down below the floor. See, isn't it weird? A simple little thing like this is challenging for someone who hasn't studied this technique that long. Do them both together because your right was better. Do them together. Let's copy my timing. Up, down. See, I always come right back to there. Down, up, down. There's the timing. The timing, there is the length of time that it takes me to say the word up is very similar, if not exactly the same, as the word down. Up, down, up, down. They're in time. There's a rhythm to it, isn't there? It doesn't go up, down, and it doesn't go up, down, up. There's a timing. It goes up, down, da, click, click. They're in time with the metronome. If you put on a metronome, up, down. Okay, so let's see you play the rudiment going starting with the right appoggiatura. In other words, it's a left drag. No, it's on the left drag, the other way.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now think about that timing that you were feeling, no stick in your hand. Up, down, up, down, up. Are you coming down faster than you're going? Up, down, up, down. Okay, now go both ways. That's really your tempo right now, because your emotions are not consistent, right? The better though, especially in the right, so you need to spend some time thinking about what you're feeling in the right, and just the words that I've used to describe to you what's happening. Apply that to the left, apply that to both hands with no stick in your hand, right? Because it really does. Play the video back and watch me and just copy my timing. Feels like this. And that way it's a wrist turn and a wrist turn. See? It's a wrist turn. It's not a wrist turn and arm. Wrist turn, arm. It's not arm, wrist turn. Arm, wrist turn. No, it's wrist turn, wrist turn. It's all a wrist turn. Okay. Now, so there's one more iteration. What's that? So it's a little different. Can you play that? Go ahead and put the metronome. Go ahead and put the metronome. Keep the metronome on at 60. Ah, now what are you going to do? All right. Let me stop. It's bad. Just like I discussed at the beginning, we really want to look at the music. And we don't want to look at the music simply to get the sticking, because that's what's cool about this technique. This technique is more than sticking. Every technique has to involve sticking. Yeah. But what this technique does is it involves the 7 basic strokes. That means we determine where we're making our upstroke, right? We know that over here in the first iteration, we're going up, down, up, down, up, down. Now we're going, what are we doing? Take a look at it.
Okay, since we're playing the appoggiatura in the left hand, that's where we start coming up.
Well, now the appoggiatura is the up. So it's different, isn't it?
We have the 2/16 are played by 2 wrist turns in the right hand.
Okay. And that's where Murray would say, talk about the chronology of strokes. See, yes. He would talk about, now all you do is you're going to move the up to here. And it works perfectly. Everything falls into place based on this chronology. One stroke leads you to the other. And instead of putting the up here, now you're going to move the up to the next note, and you get this particular iteration. And it's comfortable, and we're utilizing whatever number of the 7 basic strokes is incorporated. So, however, go ahead and put the metronome on at 60, because I was playing it at just about 60.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I feel that the 3 strokes that we're using are the rebound, the single stroke, and wrist turn.
Right? There you go.
Yeah.
So you have an appoggiatura, that's one of the 7 basic strokes.
Yeah. So
Up stroke to a down stroke.
Single stroke, which is upstroke to downstroke, really.
There's both of them. So you have at least 2 of the 7 basic strokes.
And a wrist turn. So there's really 3 happening in there.
Well, if you want to call the up to a down an up to a down, that would be 2. Murray thought they were so important and so often used, he combined them and called it a single stroke.
Yeah.
But so it's just the appoggiatura in one hand and an up and down in the other. Up, down, and an appoggiatura. It's all, it's 2 things.
What about the 2 wrist turns here?
Well, now I thought we were talking about the first iteration. The 4th iteration, well, let's see. So you have up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So all you really have is a single stroke, and you, depending on the tempo, that's really where we're going here. It's either 2 wrist turns or a wrist turn double. So again, we're really only dealing with 2 things, but they've been moved. Now the upstroke is in a different place. Now the upstroke is on the appoggiatura, whereas the first iteration, the upstroke was on the core of the drag, not the appoggiatura. It was the main note of the drag that was the up, right? Okay, so go ahead and play it at 60. Check it out. Ra, ra, ra-ta-ta, 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 ra-ta-ta. It's not da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, which is you're heading in that direction. You have to decide on the closeness, the proximity of each note in the appoggiatura, and maintain it. And for this stroke, really, it's not da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, which might be not an appoggiatura, but actually written out as 2 16th notes. These are grace notes that are closer together and closer to the core note. Ra, not da-da-da. Ra, not da-da-da. Okay, now the reason that I am having you play it at 60 is because I was playing it with rebounds. Can you play it with rebounds? This is where it gets challenging, right? Because we can play it on the wrist. Or we can okay, rep, double, let it rebound, let it rebound. You're kind of cheating, you know you are. I know it's slow. Remember Murray would say, Joe Murray would say that rebounds can become more difficult as they get really slow. And then they can get pretty difficult as you get really fast until you know what you're doing, and the 2 don't seem so polar opposite. Okay, so you're going to have to work on that. And I think what we'll do is I want to take a quick look. We'll get to stick control. Now remember, stick control, we're dealing with rebound doubles. So we're going to address this in the context of stick control page 5 and those, well, you have the doubles going in, starting with one hand or the other that are rebound. And then as well, we have paradiddles, which are going to involve a rebound that is required that is similar to this. So we'll address that in a little bit, okay? Okay, but now at least you understand how the motions are used to play the fourth iteration, okay? And it's something you're going to have to spend some time working on. You're right at the beginning of rebound doubles, so I know it's a challenge. I get it. Okay, now I want to give you something. First, I had you just play some singles, right? And they were okay. They seemed a little stiff. I'm not. It had a feeling like each stick was connected so that as you lifted one up, it would somehow, it's like a machine where if one moves, the other has to move.
Yes.
And we get the wind-up toy that's on a spring, and they seem to move like that, right? But really what we just want to do is find the motion that exists in each hand individually, right? Right? And so I don't need the other hand to be moving to determine when this hand is going to come up and down. I just know it's doing this, and the other hand is doing this. And when you put them together, you get this. Okay? All right. So, go and put the metronome on at put the metronome on at 40. Let's see how this works.
So,
now what we're going to do is we're just going to turn our wrists as quarter notes. The metronome equals a quarter note.
so you want me to come up to full height, the full wrist turn?
Well, we're going to duplicate what you were doing earlier.
Yeah, so I was kind of coming up here.
To about there, right? See, here's what it feels like to me. Remember I said it seems a little stiff? I've been mimicking Dick Wilson earlier for you. You were asking some things that brought that out in me. We all have a pretty good Dick. All the students seem to have a somewhat decent Dick Wilson imitation. You see, he would. Well, I'm trying to think of the best way to approach this. See, he would talk about the fact that Kevin, you realize most drummers play stiff and jerky. You mean right away you imagine, well, that means I'm playing stiff and jerky. Oh no, right? And so if you're clutching that stick too tight, using the back fingers to hold it against your palm, whatever you're doing. I haven't had you turn around to give me a profile today, but it feels like. Remember, I said when we got this idea of up, down. I said there's a timing. Down, see, up, down. There's a timing. This isn't an up down in terms of an up down motion, right? That classic motion that we're talking about. But the stick goes up and down, up, down, up, down. And I feel like yours goes up, weights here, down. I don't wait, mine's seamless. So you can create, oh, stay with me, you can create an ersatz mimicked version. It'll still be in time with the metronome. Click, 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 click. You could do that, but watch. Mine doesn't have to stop up here. Mine is one seamless, sensuous, elegant movement. Murray was known for everything being elegant, as Chad Wackerman said, right? And so watch. Up, down, up, down, up. It's not, watch, it's not, see? It doesn't, there is a moment of day and tonight at the very top, but it doesn't go up, down, up. So my hand is relaxed enough so that when I come up that high, it starts to just come away from the palm ever so slightly. And it's like, I told you, it has that feeling like I'm just tossing it up to myself. Watch. I'm just tossing it up to myself. And look, I'm tossing it up to myself, and it's like, I'm going to catch it. I just follow it up. I don't grab it and go up, down. No. Just toss it up to yourself. Come on, just toss it up. No, just toss it up. See, you have a problem doing that. Watch. Toss it up. Watch. Just toss it up. Toss it up to yourself. You're going to catch it. Your hand's going to be a little open, isn't it? There. Do that again. You've got to go easy, or could you? It's nice and easy. I'm literally almost like throwing it to myself gently. Like you're going to throw somebody something. You don't go, here, hey, here are the car keys, honey. Bam! You go, here are the car keys. Yeah. No, it comes up more slowly, doesn't it? Look, copy me. Just copy me. Up. Up. And then I'm going to let it come back. Up. And I'll let it come back. Up. And it falls back onto my palm. Up. Up. Don't come up quite so high. I want you coming back here. I can't quite see how far. Yeah, you don't need to come up just a little less. Tiny bit less. Just start to creep away from the palm. Up, down, up. I guess I'm almost coming up to here. I guess I am coming up to about here. Up, down, up, down, up. Do it again. I know I told you to mimic me and I stopped doing it. Sorry about that. Yeah, yours comes away from the pad so quickly, it goes, boom! Watch. It's like a rocket. What? No, mine, watch. Mine comes away more slowly. I have to lift it up. Imagine if it was the stick was 200 pounds. You do that, you'll hurt yourself. You have to lift it up. Slower. Lift it up more slowly. More slowly. There. Even more slowly. Watch. How slow can you watch? Can you lift that? How slowly? Watch. I can go. It's still on my palm. Watch. It's on my palm. I can come up really slow. If I come up too slow, I don't have the momentum for it to come away from my palm. It might not come away from my palm if I came up that slowly. Yeah, but it's one smooth motion. Yeah. Now come up high enough, and just with enough momentum to carry the stick. Oh, you don't have to. It doesn't go like this. It's all smooth. It's a smooth trajectory. The path of least resistance. Thank you, Richard. I don't want you to yank it up. I just want you to toss it up to yourself. It's watch. Just tossing it up. Here, do this. Just do this. I don't know. We'll figure out a way. Just toss it up. Yeah, see? It does. If you go up too high, won't it? Now you have to stop it. Now you have to block it. I just want, watch. To get it to go up that high, see? Like that. See, you can't go too fast. It'll go too high. You're lobbing it up to here. Well, now I'm in a sense lobbing it up to here. A little better. Let's go a little more slowly. All right, let's try this, because I think it might be hanging you up. You know when I told you that the stick comes up, when you're up this high, the stick comes away from the palm. Maybe not quite that much, but it comes away from the palm. And then as you turn towards the surface, at a certain point it falls into the palm. Okay, right there. That's how high you're going to come up. So it's not going to come away from your palm. Now what are you going to do? Up, down, up, down, up, down. You still want to come up fast. So you're coming up faster than you're going down. And for you to get the timing the same, you have to stop at the top. No, come on, that has to be the same speed up and down. And you don't get to stop at the top, and the stick doesn't come away from your palm. I'll figure out a way to get this across to you. There, it's sitting better. Don't come up so fast. Yeah, I don't want you waiting at the top that long. You have to come up slower and come down slower. They'll be the same both ways. Coming down faster than you're going up. Oh, that was a good one. Came down faster. You waited at the top. That was a good one. There you go. See, it just wants to collapse, but there you go. Nope, came up too fast. If you come up the right speed, it'll just collapse under its own weight. At the same speed it came up. That was Dick Wilson's famous thing. Kevin, does the stick ask for clearance to come back down? Look, doesn't it? It goes up, down. Same speed. Same speed. That's what we're going for. Same speed on the way down. You don't get to rush down, and you don't get to wait at the top. There you go. Make a note. Make a note. See, now you don't seem stiff and jerky. You're a different drummer. That's like totally different than what you were doing when you first came in. So much more relaxed and smooth, and you're getting a nice zonk when you land. It's solid, isn't it? How solid that is. And you don't have to work real hard. It's just this thing. Nothing to relax. Don't rush the up. Don't go racing away like a rocket from the surface. Can't wait at the top. You're gonna have to find the timing. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, metronome on at 40. Let's get this together. Metronome on at 40. See, a simple thing like a wrist turn is still a challenge for most students. This stuff takes a while because we all want to make more out of this than it really is. So it's actually very simple, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, quarter notes, and you're going to be thinking about not asking for clearance on the way down, or when it gets to the top, I think is what Dick said. No. Come on. Oh, see, you're going up real fast and waiting. It's so built in. Now that I ask you to play to a metronome with both hands, mine is freaking out. You're freaking out. Don't freak out. Come up at the same speed that you come down. And only come up high enough so that it doesn't leave the back of the palm. And you're waiting at the top. You're waiting at the top. That better. That was better. It should have a feeling of collapsing on the way down. Just like this collapses under its own weight. There's no muscular force. If you get that stick up to the right height, that's where gravity comes in. That's that idea of gravity. Yeah, it's better. Okay, that's what we're thinking. Okay, now we're going to play. Eighth note triplets. I think you were just teaching a student this, right? In a different context. Okay, keep the metronome going. You'll need it to go. You'll need it to correlate to. No, you're playing eighth notes. I want quarter note triplets.
Oh, okay.
Now count that. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a. You got it. Really, see all this stuff. The count is important. Okay. The exercise is important, but really, what are we focused on here, Joe? What is this really all about? It's learning how to not play stiff. It's learning how to play a wrist turn. It's learning how to turn your wrist and not be stiff and jerky. So this is just a vehicle. So that's that's the main focus. Counting is cool. We have to count. We have to play in time. But don't abandon the primary concept here. What's really important. Go for it.
One, two, and three.
Go slamming down.
And one, and two.
Let it collapse down.
Four, and
Same speed up and down. Collapse, 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 collapse. A little better. And 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and now we're gonna play 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. See, now it's the same wrist turn, but it just comes more quickly. This could be this slow, or it could be this slow or fast. But it's really, see, the same speed up and down, the feeling of collapsing, collapsing, collapsing. So it doesn't matter how fast I go, it's never going to lose this character. The character shouldn't change. So 1 and 2 and 3, and then, of course, and then we're going to go to 8th note triplets. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the character shouldn't change. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, and then we're going to go to 16ths. 1 and 2 and see, still the same speed up and down. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Still the same speed. 5 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Okay, same speed. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. The character never changes. It is, you're just playing the notes more close together, more quickly, but the speed doesn't change necessarily. We're maintaining this quality of up to come down and a natural timing. Okay, so let's see if you can do this.
starting with 8th notes.
Well, we were at 8th notes.
Yeah.
So start at the 8th notes. 1, let it collapse. Just lift it up. Timing should be no different. Don't push it down. Let it fall down. Come on. Your gravity. Okay. Now 8th note. Triplets. Yeah. Let it fall. 1 and 2 and maintain that character. Come down. Collapsing under its own weight. Better. Now 16th notes. 16ths. Your left is better than your right. Don't go shoving the right down. Come on, let it fall. Gravity is on your side. Doesn't mean you don't come up as high. Don't change the experiment. Just the stick doesn't come away from the palm. Groups of 5. Immediately you go in, as soon as it gets to 5, start that. Yeah, come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going to 6. Go up, down, don't do that slow. And give me 7. And polarize the 1. Polarize the 1. Don't. Another classic. That's another Dick Wilson. You were asking about Richard Wilson today. That was the other thing. He said, drummers don't bang on the 1 to help the rest of to help the rest of the band know where 1 is. They bang on the 1 to help themselves know where 1 is. Right? But this isn't this. We don't get groups of 7 by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. No, it's just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just sounds could be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It should just be a series. It's a long tone. A long tone by definition has no accents. Okay, so go ahead and try.
I'm gonna go from the 6 again.
Oh. Count out loud. That's how you do it. You count out loud, or to yourself, but better yet, counting out loud. And that way, you know where the 7 is without having to accent to keep your place. Eight.
Okay.
Don't play accents. It was good. Okay.
Yeah.
One more time. 8. Okay. All right. So, first of all, check it out. That was good. See? More relaxed. The audience feels more relaxed. You realize that? People can, the rest of the band can feel that tension. The audience can feel that tension. Okay. So, this is all it is. Look how slow that is. Not that fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Who knows what I'm playing at that point? I just right? It should be nothing. It's not. So you're getting the idea. So you're going to work on this at 40, and I'll have you take it up to say. Let's see if you can get it up to 48.
Okay.
But let's keep moving. So you see how much hipper that is, right? It's right. Yeah, like that. Like that. Not, or like this. Just like this. It's not. Remember, that's been the problem that you've been having. Every time I give you a reading, you come back and I say, but I give you notes. Don't slam. That's been your thing, slamming.
Yeah.
Your idea of making a note is, BAM! Wait here, BAM! Hold it, and it's not that. Not in this technique, maybe other techniques. Yeah, just lift it up and let it fall. Better. Okay. Let's take a quick look at stick control. Let's just see where you are there. Okay. Okay, metronome at
72.
okay, is that where you've been practicing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, you know, Wilson had me 72 to 80, Spivak had me 80 to 84.
Yeah.
Go for it. Okay. So, see how there's this connectivity. Everything is connected to everything else. Essentially, isn't this what we were just doing? Only now we're not playing forte. Now we're playing more mezzo. So it means, and in this technique, we get volume based on how high we turn. So now if we're not turning that high, what is it going to feel like? What if we played quarter notes here? What would that feel like? Right? See, it would just be like that. It's kind of like this, isn't it? But it got louder. See, that's how we get volume. We don't have to add more muscular force. We just take advantage of the mass, right? And how gravity affects mass, right? That was Richard Wilson. I teach by the theory of mass and the acceleration of gravity. You know, the conclusions of Archimedes. You know, that. All right, that's all this is. Okay, yeah, go for it. Let's let the stick fall. Left arm, you don't have to hold your elbow out. Relax it. You didn't need to have your elbow come out when you came up this high or this high. Why does it need to be out like this just to do this? Just let it hang. Might be the angle, I'm not quite sure. Can you do this? Let's see if you can do that. No. Character's changing. It has more of, yours has more of this quality. And I want. See how listen, see, with this technique, remember, we want to hear the ring of the stick. We don't want to crush the ring of the stick. Listen. It changes the tone of the stick. So we don't want to go from. Listen, I can hear this. Can you hear the? Don't play for a sec. Can you hear the sound of the stick, the tone of the stick, the note of the stick? And you're ringing, and then it goes. It's gone. Ringing. Ringing. We want to keep the ringing. It's still ringing. Mine keeps ringing. The character doesn't change because I'm not doing anything clever. I'm doing nothing except turning my wrist. Okay, you can't teach it yet. So you need to just simply spend more time learning what I've just taught you, and that will come. It'll come. It'll come. And by the way, let me mention one other thing, because it'll relate to what you're doing here in stick control. But you know, you used to have a problem where you'd come up and you'd stop up in the air. You shove down, and as it got faster, that didn't happen today. When you watch this back,
yeah,
because the thing was collapsing, as you got faster, you didn't lose. So can hear the ringing. I can hear what note, whatever. That might be somewhere like that might be a B or a C. I have relative pitch. Okay, so you're stopping at the floor now because of this newfound awareness. It's a really big deal because the floor is huge. Okay, now go ahead and play single starting left. It's exercise number 2. Down, up, 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 not down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. There's at this tempo, there's not much time to now you wait up the top and shove down. You distance. Up, down, watch if I slow it down. Up, down, 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 Wada, 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 wada. That's how Dick Wilson used to call for his cats. Wada, 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 wada. Wada, 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 wada. I'm sure it was technique related. Go ahead. Up, down, 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 up, down. That's all the volume you're going to get. If you want it to be louder, you have to turn on. Okay, so that's good. Now let's take a look. Now we're into doubles territory, right? Something relatively new, a couple of lessons old. So we're going to play exercise number 3. Well, play it on the wrist. Let's see. Or we could play it. Okay. Rebounding. See, as this thing starts to come along, see, it's really easy. There's my up strokes, down strokes. It shouldn't be a lot of work. Everything is the same. Now all I'm doing is turning my wrist once and getting 2 notes. The quality of the tone of note didn't change, right?
Yeah.
This motion that I'm showing you, it didn't change. My upstroke and downstroke were placed appropriately with regards to whatever stroke I was playing. Go ahead and play doubles again. Go ahead and play doubles on the wrist for me. Hey, wait. Why did it just get louder? I'm not interesting. So what you're going to notice is when you're playing on the wrist, or when you just are turning your wrist, you're going to see the knuckles come up and down. Back knuckles are going to be going up, down, up, down. Okay, so you've got, this is pretty slow. You've got this, right? See, watch the timing of my wrist turn. It's the same time, isn't it? Right? And then if I go to wrist, now it won't be the same timing. It'll be, the wrist has to turn twice now. But the character of the sound didn't change. That's what I'm trying to, that's what I'm have happen.
Yeah, it was when I went into those doubles on the wrist, it was a little clumsy. And
Okay.
that impacted that slight increase in volume.
So what I want you to do is I'm just having you play the wrist so you can feel the difference, because really, you're not really playing rebounds yet. It's kind of like a half rebound, half wrist.
Mm.
So I want you to play wrist. Down. Joe, remember, one wrist turn is not pounding. And in fact, you could consider this 2 wrist turns. See, it's just, no matter how fast I go, I don't start to pound. It's got this quality. So it's just going to be 2 nice, easy turns. Just a little higher. Look how high I'm coming up. Now can you turn that into doubles and only turn once? Any harder. It's the same quality of just having the timing the same. Up, down, up, down, up, down, left, down, up, and the right. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Don't disregard the turn, keep it the same. Now just play singles at that speed. Same tempo. No, same tempo as the doubles. There you go. You lost your height of turn. You changed the experiment. Go down. It'll spoil your double. It has to have that quality that we just learned. Remember this? Have that. It won't bounce. It will bounce too much. You'll lose timing. Don't shove down. Just lift it up. A little higher. A little higher. Shut down. All you're going to do is stay at the surface long enough for that to bounce twice. Don't change the speed of your wrist turn. Let it bounce. That's all you get to do. You can't change that. Let it bounce. Back to singles. 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 I want you to go back and forth.
Okay.
I want you to maintain if that's feeling doubles. Da 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 da. That's what the wrist will feel like doing. Go back to singles and feel what the wrist is doing. I want you to look down at your thumb. I want you to look down at your thumb when you're playing. Watch. One last thing. We're almost out of time here. I want you to look down at the thumb.
Okay.
See? The thumbnail? We're just finding markers. Just stay with me. It's all about up, down, up. It's doing this, right? Watch. I want it to keep moving the same. I don't want it to change when you go to play singles. Watch the trajectory and the timing of the thumb moving up and down. See if that helps. It's getting better. A little higher, you lost your height of turn. Look at the thumbnail. Once you get the right height of turn, you should come up and down at the same speed. Just study the right for a minute. Study the right. Don't come down faster than you come up. I still feel like you're giving it some juice on the way down. In the right. And we're studying the right. Lift it up and let it fall. there, nice and easy. And look at the speed of the thumbnail. In the right. Come on, focus with me. Now, come on, in the right. Don't look at your left, look at the right. Stay with me. The right is your locus. Watch the right thumbnail and go into play doubles and maintain that thumbnail speed. There you go. Now do that in the left. That's good. Do that in the left. See if it works. Back to singles. Singles. Don't shut down. You'll spoil it. That's an easy gravity. You don't have anything. The weight of your hand, the weight of the big stick of the head. Don't shove down. Don't shove down. There. Okay. I want you to do that. Joe. Joe. You're eliminating, you're ridding yourself of what is playing stiff and jerky.
Yeah.
Okay? We just smoothed you out considerably today. And you're learning valuable lessons, really cornerstone concepts that I don't know why drummers don't listen to the sound of their own playing. They don't listen to the length of the note. You see, when I talked to you about the character changing, you went, let's check it out. Here's another key aspect. When you were going, what did happen? I had you go dot 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 dot. Oh yeah, when you went from attempting to play doubles on the wrist or as rebound, dot 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 dot, and then I had you go to wrist. Oh, I think it was, I'm trying to find the right example. A better example is when you were playing singles. Dot, 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 and then I had you play them twice as fast. Dot, 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 the tone went. Dot, 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 well, not only did the tone go, but you changed the length of the note.
Yeah.
See, the length of the note should be da, 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 and then when you speed up, it doesn't go gak, 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 gak. See, it got shorter. It changed the pitch, or you lost the pitch of the stick. It got crushed. But check it out. Stay with me. This is intellectual. You've probably felt this. This is not just intellectual. This is encompassing the whole thing. Body, mind, soul, art. And so we're going tap, 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 tap. So it's da, 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 da. And it should go da, 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 not get, da, 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 not da, 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 which has a lot to do with ah. I'm going to lift it up. See? And everyone will fall in love with your playing. Yeah, those little things. It's just like, have you heard Joe lately? And they won't quite know what they're hearing. All right, man. Good job turning off the camera.